Alright.
First voice on their video, Chala.
Yeah, it always is.
He's like our sound clicker.
And action. No, I mean at action.
When?
Session 58!
58, darling.
Diddly-dee potatoes.
Last time we
Are
played.
we still on the wall?
Last time we played. You guys had a brief conversation with Cadmus. Checked out that hidden message cipher and spent all of 30 minutes trying to discern what. Hello. Thank you for the bunks. That was an aggressive one. Riordan still managed to not have sex with a sexy cat lady. Bobby had sex with somebody though. He woke up with very cowlicky hair, and you guys, after some debating, sending your crew off to inquire about commissioning a ship or / renting a ship / leasing a ship, whatever the case may be. You headed to the castle grounds and met Arya's parents, Noramir and Tatiani, which I kept fucking up and calling Tatiana. That's my apologies. Who were very sympathetic to Zodel's just re-enslavement, basically, and very curious if Arya was dating anybody in the party. After heading off to play some games, whooping the shit out of the game Get Wrecked. Tate, you definitely gamed my system there. I didn't think if you had somebody grappled you could move with them. And
Sorry.
No, it's good. Like, it made for a quick little, I know Zodel didn't expect to get outed so fast, and then everything else that happened was just gravy, because it wasn't a 3-hour one-on-one fight to unconsciousness. Everybody strategized really well.
I made a quick $9,000.
Yeah.
It was great.
You guys made some moolahs.
Sure did.
At the end of your fight, you noticed there were city guards, civilians, and then eventually the royal entourage, the king himself, in chariots, surrounded by royal guard, making their way towards some kerfuffle at the eastern gate of the city, where you made your way / were kind of shoved along the way to the great outer eastern wall. And after getting to the top and looking down, seeing the lone figure who Zodel knows by name and by sight as Belgar, the leader of the rebellion. Resistance. No tears.
It's a throwback.
And after some very cryptic words foretelling the fall of the Great Wall after 1,000 years, that the Red Sea would rise, and that on the day of their recognition, the capital of Durelium would fall. And then one little perception check, or passive perceptions at the end, I can't remember which, saw the aforementioned bandages still wrapped around the king of Durelium, King Gerard Andel, with a famous goatee, as one of these bandages began to slip and crackle and burn as these magical scars are still etched beneath his flesh, at least the best that you can tell from this distance.
Belgar, is he, just for my notes, which,
He's a
race? Human?
No, he's a human. He's the current leader of the rebellion.
Is he, I wouldn't know what class he is. Right?
Probably not, no.
Okay.
He's been described to you,
Hmm.
but you've never met him in person. Okay.
Are we still on the wall?
You are on the wall.
Is the king still
And I
inside?
put on a pair of Vans. Bam, I'm off the wall.
Sick.
Does that count as a magic item?
Vans?
And it's off the wall.
I don't. Assuming that's a version of the shoe. It is not a magical item. You just look sick. Most shoes are flat-footed anyway. Vans are the flat-footed ones, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you just see Rostin just like imaginary kickflip onto the sick rail down the stairs to the wall. Yeah.
A kilometer-long rail.
Yo, what a grind!
So,
Sorry, is the king still in sight?
as Belgar turns and has begun to trudge away, a little bit of a hitch in his step, a bit of a limp. No cane, though. The citizens, the civilians, and the army on top of this wall that are still surrounding the king at his central point above the gate begin to murmur and chuckle. And you've heard, like, most of the main armies in Durelium are far off to the west after dealing with the Sinai debacle. And some of you can make an insight check if you want to.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
help
where I was
Magnus.
getting, like, on the king to see if he's, like,
Sure, you can make one on the king.
ruffled or, like, scared or how he's feeling.
Roll an insight check on the king.
And I'll telepathically help if I can.
Insights are a solo activity.
Oh. Would we each be doing one
Inside,
around that?
that's a 19.
If you want, you can make one on the crowd. You can make one on the king's people.
19.
19.
I wanna-
The king does not look visibly shaken. He's immediately turned his back to the exterior of the wall and has begun murmuring among his council that are with him.
Sorry, he doesn't look shaken.
Not with a 19. You can't really. I think it was yours and Ryerden's passive perceptions that saw the bandages to begin with. So you've kind of got shuffled closer, kind of with Magnus's and Falconer's aid. Just as military rank, you're getting kind of jostled, like allowed to be jostled closer towards where the main military force of this gathering on the Great Wall is. What would you roll?
Can I make one on Belgar?
Sure.
Okay.
Before he would have turned and walked away.
Not good. 9.
Yeah, it's fine. You're on a 300-foot wall too, so
I
kind
see,
of
yeah.
hard to scope. It would have been pretty high DC.
Okay.
Insight checks on the crowd. Anybody, or are we just you're fine?
Sure, I'll do
Yeah,
one.
I will.
Why not?
What did I roll? I rolled something.
I rolled a thing.
I rolled 13 on the people around me.
People around you. Okay.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 and Falconer
12.
12. With a 13, you're hearing kind of in assistance with your passive perception, being one of the highest. People around you don't really seem concerned. They kind of are, oh, okay, cool, good story, bro. Magnus with a dirty 20, you're definitely hearing and seeing like some kind of amusement on some faces, just like, we have stood sentry for 1,000 years. And you promise that our great walls are going to fall tomorrow, like even with our armies way off to the west. Come at me, bro. And
Hard to hear you from this 300-foot wall.
What did you say?
Belgar was magnifying
Yeah.
your voice.
No, just like as a joke, just
Okay.
like just being completely like.
I also
Yeah.
thought I forgot to mention that in last session, but yeah,
Yeah.
he would have definitely been Harry Pottering himself onto the larynx and projecting his voice magically.
Even if it is like a history check, can I, like, what would I have heard about Belgar in terms of just like importance or like if he's.
Yeah, you roll a history check. I'd say with advantage.
Okay. God. Awful. 8.
8. You know what he looks like, and that he walks with a limp, and that he wears, as opposed to most of the other rebels who wear orange garb, he wears white with a orange sash.
Huh.
The rebel color's orange, I guess. Right.
I assume. Okay.
Since session 2,
Hmm.
orange flags. Sometimes an orange flag with a black open palm on the sails that you guys have seen. Because yeah, session 2, you guys fought rebels. Like, there's a bit of history here for a lot of you, especially. The rebellion kicked off well before you left the military, so you're familiar with their colors and their signets and
Sorry,
whatnot.
how long's the rebellion been going?
Roughly 2 decades. Yeah, so the civilians here are kind of like, all right, go
Cool.
tell another one. Like, we've been fighting you for 20 years, stood 1,000 years before that. Like, what do you got?
Yeah.
And yeah, people begin to siphon out. Mainly, yes, civilians, retired females, retired military, and retired females, retired military folk, business owners, females, daughters, sons, all are starting to make their long way back down the tower. Sort of like, hey, this was a nice spot of entertainment before, 5 days until the Wreckfest.
Only I could turn into something. I could get down way a bit quicker.
Mm-hmm. Flying squirrel your way down.
Oh, hummingbird, man. They got 100 feet of flying speed.
They're quick.
Wow.
So as the civilians and rabble of just the city begin to depart, you notice a lot of the military folk are sticking around. The king and his royal guard and the few individuals that he has with him, of whatever council they may be, simply go down one level to an open platform. You can see from the top of the wall as these barracks and storehouses kind of stairway themselves up on the back of the Great Wall, where people can be housed during long siege, as well as they basically serve as just like outer rim silos, every other one. And the king and his crew are deep in conversation. Somebody can roll me a perception check
You got it?
I'll help.
with Zodel's assistance.
22.
22. Good. Who has a passive perception of 13 or higher?
I.
Yar.
Is that everybody except for Roston?
Everyone but Roxanne.
All right.
Come on,
So-
Rostan.
So Richmond's the only one who doesn't see, but Riordan, you see more.
Cool.
So everybody sees as the king and his entourage go down to this platform, a familiar turtle shape moving through the crowd up to the king's entourage, and then who begins to converse with the king and his entourage peacefully. Riordan, with your role, you see the individuals that are around the king that he's speaking with. There's a very tall man in a black cloak. His hood is down. He's bald, and he has a very scarred face and scalp. He's about 6'4", appears to be human. There is a balding man, a bolognese, in blue robes, almost pious robes. He's got a little sword at his hip. He's about 5'8", balding badly, and his eyebrows are enormous. And he's also a human. There's a human woman. Let me know if I'm going too fast.
Nope, you're good.
There's a human woman with glistening straight orange hair. Like not even like ginger, like almost strawberry blonde mixed just like with the perfect flat orange, non-curly hair that falls down her back. She's wearing a police uniform. She has a pair of batons at her hips. She's about 5'6", with curves to be appreciated, but a level of tonnage that would probably make you think twice about being forward in any way. And beside the orange-haired woman is a blonde gnome, also in a police uniform. Arya, you want to describe your friend?
I mean, she's a gnome, blonde, blue eyes. Same height as me, basically, a little bit shorter.
You said she was in a police uniform as well?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And then after Cadmus, only the King's Guard, the Royal Guard, stand in sort of a perimeter around them. And as all the civilians drift away, there is only military personnel left standing. And some of the higher ranks, too, are being, like, ushered through by lower ranks. Like, oh, sir, you would absolutely go closer. You are more important to hear this information and give orders as needed.
Other than Arya's friend, would any of us have heard or have known of any of these other ones?
You can make a history check.
And I'll help.
So a flat roll. It was going to be with disadvantage because this is still a long way from where you came from. A lot of the names you would know are people that are either described to you or shown through through quick sketch.
Nope. Nope. 4.
Can we overhear anything, or are they too far away?
You're a ways away. A little too far to hear the hushed tones, but like I said, military are still present and ushering higher rank folks closer to the inner circle.
Cadmus is over there. Do you think we could? I mean,
Well, I'm going to lean over to Magnus and say, do you think that that's what he meant by the job? What do you think?
I would think so. I don't know why they would hire someone like him, but
I know. It's kind of peculiar.
unless it's the other way, maybe someone hired him
To get
try
close to the
get
king?
into the king's area.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I assume I see Sidnet.
You see a familiar looking gnome with your passive. Still a little ways away. Her back's kind of to you. But given an educated guess, you'd be like, that's probably her.
Mm-hmm.
Should we-
Sydney, but a T instead of a Y.
Oh, I fucked that up.
STN.
I thought you said signet, like,
Sidnet
yeah, no.
Sydney with a T instead of a Y?
at the end.
Second
not,
Y.
Not the N, the NY.
Oh.
Yeah, at the end.
Okay.
Stignet?
Stidney?
Stidney.
Should we see if we can maybe get closer? See how close we can get.
I mean, I can try and I'm pretty sure that's my friend down there in the police uniform.
I mean, we
I
know
might
at
be
least two
able
people.
to. I mean, the king also knows me, so
Making our way downstairs.
I can try and get in there.
Yeah, let's
Yeah, let's do that.
head down.
Okay.
Should I try hanging back or should I go with the group?
Do you want to be hanging around on top of the wall by yourself?
I'll go with Magnus or
Probably go with Falconer. I'd imagine.
Falconer. I'll just close to them.
Sure. You guys do notice as you're making your way down the wall to the particular platform, there are a handful of other soldiers or officers that do have a slave on hand with them, or whatever errand or task that they need an extra pair of hands for. Yeah, Falconer, I'm assuming, leads the way in his captain's uniform. Very little resistance until you get basically right down to the staircase that leads onto the platform, and there are a couple of Royal Guard who are kind of keeping even the higher command at bay. If they're basically general status, they're allowed through. Anything lower, they're kind of just like, you just halt here and listen as good as you can. Oh, that's a nat 20 right out the gate. The king looks your way briefly, and he sees your blue hair.
Mm-hmm.
He gives a bit of a quizzical look, kind of like pushing this one bandage back up onto his face. And that's 2 nat 20s in a row.
Oh my
God.
That's 2 nat 20s in a row. I'm gonna see if I can go for a third one. 2. Then Sidnet sees you, and kind of there's a little. She waves you guys in.
Sweet.
Stick.
Backstage pass.
I was just about to try and persuade the guard, but never mind.
Yeah, 2 nat 20s on perception. The king and then Sidnet saw you, and Sidnet was just like, hey, she's, you know her. He's like, yeah, all right, kid.
Okay, I'll.
I mean, troublemaking.
Make my way over to her.
As you near the circle, Sidney kind of keeps her composure. As
I'll
you
just touch her hand.
she'll give you like a firm little official handshake.
Yep.
And give you a little wink, but she's keeping
Yep.
game face on. Wait, so listen, we've been searching for it for months. Yeah, well, do we have any compelling leads? If there's any compelling leads, Detective Severin should have already sussed them out. This is now the tall, scarred-head fellow. He
Figured.
hisses more than he speaks. He's very Voldemort-esque, but looks like Voldemort's been in way too many sword fights. And he still has his nose.
Okay.
And no pet snake. He just sounds like the snake. Harry Potter!
I stuck my screwdriver in a piece of channel at work today, so it was like 4 feet long, and I was like,
Amazing.
And the tall, scarred-headed gentleman, he's looking when he
He's
says
bald, right?
he's bald, clean shaven, and just just white lines of scars from blades and claws all over his face. Not really disconfiguring him anyway. Like when you guys met Prince Merrick, like almost a whole half of his face got torn off at one time. And
He's human?
they are mostly human. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Sidney is the only non-human in this circle,
Okay.
other than now present company who've joined. And as he says this, if there were any leads to have been sussed out, Detective Severin should have unearthed them by now or discovered them by now, and he directs that comment to the orange-haired woman who you guys just heard about at Arya's parents' place. She is
Cut the guy's hand off.
Detective Inspector Severin, daughter of General Severin, who is normally stationed in Dara, but has taken charge of the armies in the west dealing with the Sinai shit. I'm just about done with all your lip there, Gorshinvensky. That's a long one. Gorchinvensky. Spell it however you want. Gorchinvensky. He's the tall, scarred one.
Okay.
It looks right phonetically, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an ancient name passed down. That he's read out of the book. If Krista, if you had started reading my book yesterday, you probably would have already read about this guy.
I'm still in the prologue.
Okay. Well, if you could do your don't say damn. If you could do your job properly, without the aid of my servants all the time, perhaps this rebellion could have been rooted out at its source already. That's enough, Gorshinvensky. Supposed to be Scottish. That's enough, Gorshinvensky. The king pipes up. Detective Severin has my every confidence that she can find the traitors within our midst, root out whatever plot Belgar and his folks could be planning. And then Sidney pipes up. All Scottish. I'm just like, yeah, it's Scottish. They can't get up there. Sir, my lord, if I could say so, the police and I, and even the citizen folk who have been leaving, have no concerns or worry about this problem. If there is one, we'll root it out at its source. But I guarantee that this is all just more smoke with no fire. We've stood against these bastards, pardon me, for 20-odd years. No chance they take us now. Especially not on the night of our festival. How dare they? And she kind of spits off the side.
I'm gonna make. Can I either passive perception or check whatever? Just getting a bit of a pulse check or vibe check out of Cadmus.
Sure. Yeah, you can make an insight check. He's standing by. He kind of got his big old turtle arms folded, and he's just standing out, kind of chewing on a little bit of something in his mouth.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about him too.
You can roll an insight if you want. What'd you get?
6.
Oof.
Yeah. I was
You're-
doing the math on perception, but then you said insight. I had to remember.
Yeah, sorry. It's sort of yes, seeing like their reactions, their facial cues, like how they're sitting in all this mess. Because I'm assuming you guys want to know if he's about to like put 2 in the back of the king's head.
Yeah.
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 What'd you roll?
15.
15. Cadmus is very plain-faced, very stoic, hands very clearly off of his weapons. His pistols aren't actually on his hips at this point. They're tucked away. The rifle's still on his back, along with a lance. But no, he's standing like right off the shoulder of the king, and he's just nodding along, waiting for his chance maybe to get a word in. Not showing any like huge signs of deception or sneakiness.
Have I seen this Gorchin Vensky guy before?
You have not.
Okay. Any like markings on his robes, or is he just like plain black?
Plain black.
Just
He is very, other than his, in the book, his hood would basically never be down.
okay.
But for the sake of describing him and just like, yeah, just the mirage of, or the myriad of scars on his head is what makes him look recognizable.
Okay.
Well, my lord, you hired me to do this job, and I'm going to give Detective Severin every courtesy and skill at my disposal to help root out the perpetrators here in the city. After that assassination attempt, let's just say the gold's too good to say no to. I'll find your traitors with the help of your police here. Your help is very much appreciated, Cadmus. Even if you do have a bit of a sordid history. This is now Detective Severin talking. But we'll take any aid we can get. Won't pain me none that I don't have to reach out to our secrets Alvarin here for his workforce. The secrets Alvarin.
She was talking about Gorchin, whatever.
Mhm. You know there are Alvarans. They're higher than a high council, but less than a king.
The secret.
The secrets Alvaran, which is one you've never heard of before.
Ow. Okay.
You know there are 8 Alvarans. You and Magnus would anyway. There are 8 Alvarans, 8 High Counselors, and you've never heard of the Secrets Alvaran before. Most of them are like the Agriculture Alvaran, the
They're like
Public
8
Relations
different-
Alvaran.
They're
Depart-
like 8 factions of Alvarin.
Yeah, so
It's like the Department of Secrets.
It's like the districts in Hunger Games.
kind of, yeah. There's just each one of them is like the head of a certain
Resource?
a certain resource, a certain, faction's kind of the wrong word, but like agriculture, banking, public relations, military, all these 8 factions, but you've never ever heard of a secrets Alvaran before.
Okay.
And so, Ski is part of that. Gorgon Chen Vinsky.
Gorchin Vensky.
Yeah.
No, not
In-game
that
ski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got an out-of-game ski and an in-game
Yeah.
ski now.
The G ski, not the.
So in
G ski, not B ski.
Not
bro.
B ski.
Yeah. So in-game ski said, Gorchin Vensky she referenced him as the reference to him as the Secrets Alvaran, and she saying like she's had to reach, or he was bitching that she had to utilize some of his spies in the past, and now she's like, I would be happy to not have to do that. You are a miserable fuck.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
10-4. That makes more sense.
And, Your Majesty, these guests of yours, the ones brought on a little unceremoniously to this, confidential conversation. I hope it won't disturb you to know that I know these fellows as well. And if you're looking for good hands, they might be worth a pretty silver coin, a pretty copper coin to have on your side. As he references now,
What does the king say?
He's looking at you to see if you have anything to say. He's like, okay, give me your thesis statement.
Elevator pitch.
That's the words.
I mean, you should start.
Oh man.
Well, no, they know you, not
Yeah,
us.
I know. Thanks, Cadmus. That's very kind of you. My lord, as you know, myself and my family, I was out on delivery for my father and came in contact with these gentlemen, and who have helped me travel back home through many trials over the last few months, and I give you my word they are trustworthy.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Pretty low DC.
Look at that hair. That's so cute.
Just the anime. Alright.
Which was the first one?
Oh, yeet. See, that's what I mean. We needed to yeet it more.
Persuasion. Oh, yeah. 18.
Nice. Yeah. Very low DC on that one. It was like break a 10, basically.
Yeah, the first one was an 11.
Nice.
Because I have a +0 to charisma.
Aria. And the king takes a quick knee to shake your hand, to give you the arm clasp, like up to your elbow. But you do notice there's
Up to his
a
wrist.
generous sign of respect for him to take a knee to shake your hand instead of just bending to shake your hand, showing his deference for you and your family. As he stands again, I was troubled when I heard of your demise on the goddamn, what was your boat named? I forget.
Hellstrom.
No.
Oh, not
No.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
It was something real good.
Persephone?
Should be McFit
No.
face.
Daggeth?
The Daggeth.
Yep.
I like that name. When I heard of your demise on the Daggeth, a lot of good people lost that day. I have heard since the tales of your exploits amid your companions, perhaps in some areas of the world where us better folk should not have to pursue a living. But I am glad to see you home and well. And if you trust these companions, I'd be happy to fill your pockets if you're interested in investigating some of the suspected individuals in the city. And suss out if this is a real plot or just another batch of hot wind.
We would be happy to be of service to you, Your Highness.
If that's the case, I'll leave you. I myself have much to discuss with my High Council, and I'll leave you in the care of Detective Severin, Detective Sidnett. The Gorshenvensky will tend to your monetary needs, and our new friend Cadmus here. I trust that if there's anything to these threats and allegations, should be no problem for you all to suss out in a short matter of time. And you can, oh, yes.
Chala
King is a
agrees.
cat. You can make another insight check if you'd like.
Sure.
Magnus you're just super skeptical of everybody right now, aren't you?
Cocked.
Nah, that was rolled
It
with
was-
intention.
it was intentional.
Well, it hit a bunch of stuff.
17. You're noticing a bit of a tremble to the king's legs and like his hands as he's gesturing. There's a bit of just a tremor, and you see just an ever so slight little brief like flash of pain in his eyes as you notice too a couple of times he kind of unconsciously rubs at some of the band-aids, the bandages wrapped around his magical scars. Like they're itchy, but he's trying not to let it show, but like they're hurting deep down as well. Just for a quick flash as he then, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody bows to Your Majesty as he steps into his royal guard, kind of disseminating a little bit of information about that to them about them. He likes to sleep with. They head down the stairs. Lots of the military force following them, kind of trying to catch snippets and tidbits of information being let loose from certain lips.
Have I heard of any sort of disease or anything like that that would be similar to what has happened to him? Like
You can roll either an Arcana or a Religion check.
medicine, maybe? Well, I guess religion's probably.
You can roll an Arcana, a Religion, or a Medicine check.
13.
What was that?
13 in religion.
Religion. Nothing to your recollection of like magical diseases lingering. Not in the way that you've kind of seen here, especially now up close. The rest of the people around this circle, they've seen him for months on end since the assassination attempt, and so it's sort of normal, though it is a bit curious that it is still persisting on his person.
So it's not like grayscale or anything like that.
I don't know what that means. It's not like ringworm.
Fair enough.
Let's call this magical shingles.
Right. So, you folks are with me. Detective Inspector Severin pipes up. We'll wait in the hallway as you suss up what your payment is with Gorchin here. And you see him like grit his teeth at her, just calling him Gorchin. It's just like. And her and Signet and Cadmus exult into the sort of foyer before this platform as this tall, lean, scarred-faced man is just looking down at you all unblinking.
Funds aren't really my forte, so I'm gonna hand it over to Falconer, our most charismatic.
Okay.
Try not to smile. This guy's very
Mr. Gorchin Bensky.
I'm gonna match as best I can. Just steely.
Call him G Money.
How many of us are there? 7 of us?
Yeah.
As he's watching you do mental math.
Yep.
How much are you paying Cadmus?
You're asking?
Yeah.
What is worth? What is your worth?
So not that much. All right.
Oh, transpired.
You see him try and like hide a quick little grin on the side of just like one side of his mouth pops up a little bit. So what are you worth? I don't know who I'm talking to.
I think we're worth. No, I know we're worth. Say 500 gold a day, plus expenses.
Well, I hope you're worth more than that, as he scribbles out a quick note and hands it to you.
What does the note say?
It's exactly what you asked for.
Oh, good.
Wait.
And then he starts to walk away, and then he looks back at you, just says, expenses within reason. And then with a
Agreed.
quick turn of his cape and a couple of long strides, he's gone.
How much could we have got?
You'll never know.
That's fun.
Having a gold a day between 7 of us? We're already rich. I don't want to be too greedy.
All good.
Biggest country in the world. War makes money. They've been at war for 1,000 years in one way or another.
So I'll turn to one of the inspectors and be like, so what do we know about this assassination attempt?
So there's one inspector, Detective Siverin, Detective Inspector. Signet is just a regular detective. But on the fast track to becoming an inquisitor, according to her mom. Great. Well, first of all, let me go to D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond! You guys didn't do it with me. Let's find what Detective Severin knows about stuff. Alright, what's a bit of walk back? Let's hoof it. And as she starts to lead and starts to talk, leading you guys down the wall, Signet hangs back with Arya for a quick second, and as everybody rounds the corner, and then she just grabs your hands and gives you a big hug.
That's exactly how I wanted that
Yeah.
interaction to be like.
And oh yeah, you guys are like wiping tears. She's like, oh my god, let me tell you. Okay, they're gonna talk. We can catch up with them later. Let's just gab.
Yeah.
And you guys bring up the rear, just catching up, telling stories. She's telling you, oh, like I brought down this guy who was almost a serial killer, and I smacked him with my truncheon right in his fucking balls, and I hog-tied him in an alley all by myself. And you're just like, I fought a hag and a dragon. She's like,
I
get
also punched
fucked.
someone in the
I
balls.
punched a guard in the balls.
Perfect
Not telling
height.
her that it's a dare.
Perfect height. Yeah.
Guard.
You can just super plumber man that shit. Dun, dun, dun. And
She doesn't know that I have magical abilities.
no, and that was one of the reasons, one of the rationales your father brought up.
Yeah.
Like, Signet's family is police.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what if you accidentally did something or said something in front of her?
Yeah.
And they just didn't understand. So
I won't tell her then.
you know each other about as best as you can, aside from the magic stuff. Right, so as Detective Severin gets you guys out onto the long highway back to the mile-long highway back to the inner wall. Well, we've got a particular number of suspects. A couple are just new to us. We've yet to investigate. We've got Tommy and Jane Richson. They've got extended family that are sort of sympathizers. They're under a bit of scrutiny, keeping an eye on them, make sure they're not dropping messages.
Who are they, sorry?
Tommy and Jane Richson.
They're,
They're people with an extended family that are supposedly rebel sympathizers.
okay. Extended.
Did you say that they were like part of the government or police or just
Just
random?
appear to be civilians, yeah.
They've lived in Dara their whole lives.
Durelium their whole lives,
Okay.
not necessarily Dara.
Okay.
Then we've got Dolly and Padrinder. Vivtek. Fow. Dolly and Padrinder. And they are Fow Sharon. Those are the people that used to live in Saigar's Tooth. That's the race I couldn't think of
Yeah.
last time. So they wear hijai arabis. They are a full body veil covering that can only be removed at night in the cover of darkness. They basically aren't allowed to show any skin. You only would ever really see their eyes peeking from behind. Typically like elaborate, sort of Hindi-esque head coverings with a lot of like jewelry and beads and stuff embedded. But
Sorry, what was their name?
Dolly and Padrinder Vivtek. And a few of you know, Arya and Magnus don't need to make a roll, but if anybody else wants to make a history check, just about Hijai Arabis.
I have good history.
Do it up.
I'll try as well.
I'm going to roll.
Dang it.
I'm rolling terrible today. It's very awful. I don't
Is
think
it
I've gotten
stone?
over 8.
No, it is not.
He's not stone. I mean, they've all been history,
15.
too. 15, Ryder?
An 11.
Okay. Rostin might be like, oh, right, I heard about this. when Magnus and Arya explain it, but the Hijai Arabi was originally a religious garment, but them living in Durelium, kind of being taken over by Durelium some 800 years ago, the country has allowed it more as a cultural practice. As long as they are not practicing religion, they are still permitted to wear it.
Is that the super
I
southeast?
don't tell
corner?
anybody any of that.
Yeah, Saigar's Tooth. Well, no, it's part of Durelium, but it's like the very little bottom corner, very marshland and
What was
mountainous.
the country called again?
It was called Faucher. FOU''SHER.
Okay. And what was their involvement or suspicion?
They're basically kind of being scrutinized for being their race.
Their race, okay.
Lots of those types of people have ended up on the rebel side as a sort of, let's fight back to get our religious rights back. And then there's Chilbley and Puppa, Coopenscoon,
Wow.
Chibley?
Chilbley
Oh.
and Puppa, Coopenscoon.
If it's spelled the way that I spelled it, it's awesome and funny.
Gnomes, baby. We have confirmation that they have loose ties with the rebels. They have been scouted and observed on certain dead drops. But whoever they're dropping information to, we've not been able to suss out. Not for nigh on 15 years we've been following this family.
Wow.
Every time we go to investigate one of the dead drops, it's gone. No evidence of anybody coming to pick it up in any way, shape, or form. We have every reason to keep watching just in case we get lucky, which is why they're not in custody of yet. Plus, they haven't done anything destructive.
You're talking about Chilby and Papa?
Yep.
Okay.
Police can't pinpoint. There has been one dead drop that they've picked up, and the only words they could decipher from before the note got destroyed in some way, shape, or form was the words "circle prints."
You're talking about a dead drop?
No, it said.
Yeah, dead drop.
Like with notes? It's like an...
Yeah, so these people have been seen taking stuff and like making drops, and then when the police have tried to interact and like pick up what they've got, even just to see the information, they've only ever received or managed to get their hands on one. The rest of them, every time they go to investigate, they're just gone.
Interesting.
Our
Circle
note said
prints.
something about a prince on it. Sapphire, prince, schedule.
Yep.
Those were just the words you could decipher. They don't necessarily go side by side with one another. And then Shanga
Shunga.
and Harazaki. Harazaki. And they are from Doratus, where Kage was from.
Saki. From Harurocket? Harurokus?
Shunga and Harazaki
Yeah.
from Doratus.
Oh,
Doratus.
Which is where Kage was from.
Doratus Sandstorm?
And they're traveling merchants that come and stay for months on end. Always just been a bit suspicious of them. They're a loose relative to the Faucher, so we're not sure of certain sympathies or designations. Those are the main ones. The rest are just trying to suss out any funny business. Most of the real work fighting the rebels goes on outside the walls. The battles, fighting their magi and their witches. There's only a handful of suspects here within the walls, and that's what makes it all that much more difficult. It's when certain skills, magical or otherwise, are assisting them in their devious ways.
This is Severin, right?
Detective Severin, yes.
What was the sorry, Detective Severin? You were the one that stopped the assassination, correct?
Aye.
So you had a close eye on the suspect. What were they wearing? Did they have any markings on them?
No, actually a nice young man. His name's in the book, it doesn't matter. His family went back many generations. They were essentially foreign dignitaries.
Balin, the king's servant?
Oh, Valen was the king's servant, yes. No,
Right.
the real attempted assassin was the son of this family with long ties to one of the countries we've conquered in the last 1,000 years. And he was dressed as normal. In blues and purple velvets. Purple and velvety purples, there we go. No, and during the kerfuffle of the detectives and police under my employ, the initial subject, Valen, was subdued and beaten a little bit too heavily. Could have probably been more used to if his jaw weren't broken. But during the mess, I was just doing a quick once-over of the crowd. Seemed a bit too conspicuous, the initial attempt, and this young gentleman got up out of his booth, rolled up his sleeves, and a powerful coursing orange energy came down from one hand to another, and before he could unleash it upon the king's back, I managed to strike the hand from his body. And I was unconscious for about a week and a half, blasted right off my feet, took a big knock to the back of the head, along with several civilians. I think there was one boy ended up with 3 or 4 broken bones from the force of the blast. Thankfully, no deaths other than the assailant himself. The magic somehow rebounded back within him and he just burst.
Gross.
Bunch of red chunks was the last thing I saw before my head hit the wall.
Do we know much about the bandages on the king?
About the what?
The bandages on the king.
Oh, it's just a result of the magic.
He was hit.
He was hit. The hand fell. The magic still kind of found a way out, as far as they tell me. It took quite a bit of a blast, but could have been much worse. Given the force of the backlash, I assume that it probably would have obliterated the king completely.
Was it like hot, cold energy?
It was sort of just forceful. It had a very particular hue to it. Just a very vibrant orange.
So it didn't look like fire or anything?
No, not like fire. No, it was.
Because you said it was orange. I'm just trying to picture the color of orange.
Oh,
it
just
maybe.
just vivid, bright orange, like the plant, but like if that was just like crisp and smooth.
Like her hair?
Like your hair?
Okay, fair point. I never thought about that. But less natural.
Okay.
So anyway, King was laid up for about a month and a half, and there's just those scars are left on his body. They've shrunk a bit over time, but it is surprising.
Based on that description, can I have any idea of what spell magic it might be? Maybe Kinneros
Nature
can
based.
make a check.
Okay, let me pull up.
Since he's our Arcana person.
I'll do an Arcana check with Kinneros. You would be able to. You have no ties to Arcanum or
No.
religion, so you can do a medicine check.
Okay.
It's a pretty high DC, just so you know.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, never mind.
17.
Hey, it's not.
17. You haven't ever seen or heard of an injury like that before.
Okay.
Long-lasting scars. You know that because they don't heal stuff with magic here in Durelium, you wonder if maybe it's just his body's still recovering because there's no way to like magically dispel what could be happening within his body, but that's your best guess.
Yeah, okay.
Let me see with Kinneros here.
Is the king's servant still alive, or did he
Unfortunately, no.
pass?
He hung himself in his cell.
Oh,
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that was a quicker way out for him for sure.
Yeah.
Could have ended up on the rack for months on end.
True.
Kinross. What's Kinross is low? Damn it. Kinross Arcana. It's a +5. My Caleb dice. 16. Kinross doesn't know.
That was with the +5.
Yeah, I rolled an 11. Yeah, it was like a DC 24-ish area.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you guys near the interior wall? Arya and Sidney have kind of like caught up and caught the tail end of the conversation after they'd been gabbing.
Do you guys know at all how big the rebel forces are? Like, should we... I know you said in front of the king that we shouldn't be worried about what that guy said.
Largest reports of rebel forces, typically only about 1,000 in a
Okay.
in a group. They travel in smaller sects
Mm-hmm.
and work sort of in a web of smaller little factions. What's the word I'm looking for here?
Troops. Cohorts.
Squadrons, garrison. Yeah.
Fleets.
They don't typically bulk up, which is a good strategy for them, because if they did, then we'd be able to easily find them and march, hundreds of thousands of forces against them.
Okay.
But even if they could muster 10,000, 20,000 against the Great Wall, no chance. There's history to tell that 100,000 will fall in less than a week against our defenses.
This is Krista asking,
Mhm.
was Cristania a part of the, I know she's super ancient, so the rebels probably weren't even a thing before she got imprisoned, but
Yeah, no, Kirstania, when you guys talked to her the last time she had heard of High Bloods, they had two completely different faction names.
okay.
It was that long ago.
Okay.
The High Hand and the Never Life is what she knew
Right.
them as.
It's pretty OG.
They were still using sending snails back then.
And Internet Explorer.
That joke will catch up in a couple of years.
Yep. Double funny.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just, trying to,
Yeah, suss it all out.
there's a lot of fucking badass mages out there that could have been recruited to the rebel.
Detective Sivrin, it seems to me, I haven't spent a lot of time here in Dara, but it seems to me that everyone on the wall was not that terribly concerned with this gentleman down there with the voice. Has this happened before in this way? Is this just a running playbook of attacks is this way, or is this unique?
This one's a bit unique. Hi. Not really had a visit from the leader of the opposition before. Seemed a bit more of a tongue-in-cheek message for the king himself. But of course here in the capital there's never been a proper incursion against the Durelium's capital. Dara's the oldest fortress city that there is. Never conquered in 1,000 years. The foundation, the foundation that we built the magnitude of our country upon. Most incursions typically happen on the fringes, outer cities. I know Dorina's been hit once or twice. I believe the first botched attempt of the rebellion happened in Dorina. Killed a bunch of innocents, and I'm told it was a total fuck up on their end, trying to light the fires of rebellion, and ended up killing most of themselves. Faulty fire, one fuse or something.
All right.
Yeah, no, not really here. I don't think the citizens have all that much to be worked up about, but at the same time, us as police, if there was ever going to be a major strike, why would it not be here? Send a message.
especially this time of year. It seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to ruin our festival. We're going to do our jobs, suss out what we can, make our usual reports, and hey, if we happen to slap a couple of folks in irons, with some proper proof, mind you, I don't like any of that speculative bigotry shit. You do the job right when you're working for me.
I can respect that.
Yeah, we'll see what we see. A couple of extra hands and eyes and ears might be do me well.
Alright.
What would you say is the best place to start? Is there kind of an epicenter of, debauchery around here that's
Oh.
obvious?
For the folks that we've got on our short list here, Shanga and Habazaki kind of tend to themselves. They've got a big traveling wagon. It sleeps too, and they sell their wares, trade wares out of the back or the lower levels. Tommy Richson has a bit of a flavour for the flesh. Might head up Mother Maze on the eastern side of the river. For those of you who don't know, Mother Maze is a bit of a comfort house. Little to Jane's knowledge, of course. Working late, he says. Dolly and Padrinder, they typically tend their weekly meetings between their own kind, sometimes some folk from Doradus, but not really any places that these our shortlist individuals seek out debauchery of any kind. And the city itself, I mean, crime is punishable by one hand, then both. So,
It's interesting, yeah.
pretty comfortable environment.
You all hear in your heads, I think we need to decipher the cipher.
Right, well, it's getting on for this evening. I've got to get back to the castle, check on my special investigators. Shift changes at midnight. I want to be there before then so I can get the information from closing crew to starting crew, working 12-hour shifts. If there's any other questions, if not, then I'll meet you at the police headquarters first thing in the morning.
Hi.
Sounds great.
All right, and Arya, I'm assuming you know where the police headquarters are.
Yeah.
Not that you've ever had to be there for any reason.
No.
That's also where you can take your note from Gorshin Vensky and give it to the police chief, Asheron, and he'll be happy to fulfill that on a daily.
Sounds great.
Excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you all. Cadmus, I'm sorry I don't know the rest of your names. Arya's friends. Right. Talk on the morrow. And as soon as you guys get to the inner wall gate, she slips off to a stable 2 weeks down, 2 doors down, grabs a horse, and she's off at like a full trot to the palace to go check on her team. She sure is a handsome one.
Yup.
Well, I myself just might find my way to Mother Maze. Not too far from here. And those lassies. He tips his hat with his big old turtle hand. On the morrow, then. Amor Ventus. And with your guys' passive perceptions...
Is Jada
Oh,
around?
bad, yeah. So as he rounds the corner, she rolled it's a 3+ stuff. We'll say the two highest passive perceptions see just from the top of the rooftops nearby you, just like that little flick of a leap and that little feline tail kind of follow after Cadmus in the night.
That's where she
Always
was.
slinking around that one.
I was wondering
I
where
don't
she
know if
was.
I trust him.
It's been absolutely. I mean, if you want to get a drink, that's good. I got time for one. So much to talk about, but I've really got to get back to headquarters, fill up my notes, journals, so I can get to bed, so that we can be up first thing tomorrow. I've got duty at Shanga and Harazaki's, so I'm going to be on them most of the day.
Okay.
And then I believe that there's a special contingent is also going to be on Tommy and Jane. So if you guys want to divvy up the other two between yourselves and Cadmus, we can discuss it more in the morning, or if you want to get a quick drink now.
Doesn't matter. We can see you tomorrow if you have a bunch of work to do.
Oh, I know, I want to stay up all night and just chat. It's so good. And she gives you hand clasp and I'm just, all right, no, but okay, the sooner I get my reports done, the sooner I can be to bed, the sooner I can see you in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll meet you police headquarters before we split off and go our separate ways.
Sounds good.
Okay, tea and crumpets are on you.
Okay.
With the amount you're getting paid. I'm not getting paid that much on a police salary. Doing this out of the goodness of my heart. As she wants. Just like, all right, nice meeting everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
I gotta pee, but you guys, you're now alone and can discuss.
How did we get roped into this?
I don't know.
I thought we were trying to get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
I mean, I can't say no to the king. That just looks bad.
Might be interesting. Just as a bit of a hedge to be in the king's good graces, you know.
Mhm.
Speaking of, should I maybe not be masquerading as a Darren captain if we're working for the king? Just a thought.
I mean, he didn't say anything, but
I doubt we'll be able to, like, talk to any of these people dressed like this.
yeah. Maybe we can.
I look fucking great.
That's where I'm hoping Zodel can come in handy.
I don't understand why we're doing the king's work. I thought we were getting out of here.
Yeah, that ramped up pretty fast.
Got the zoomies. My jaw just went by Mach 2.
I still don't trust Cadmus, though.
I mean, he didn't sell us out. He knows we're magic folk.
I know, but still.
Just question logistically. That's an interesting comment because it's like, do they hate the idea of magic being used in front of them, or if they know you've had magic in your past ever? Like, what?
So they
How do they discern that?
basically don't do it within their country's borders.
Right.
Don't have it, don't do it, don't be a part of it. They understand that there is a world outside their country's borders. And they're just the U.S. trying to spread democracy to every corner of the world. Except democracy is magic hating and slave having.
So it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind type stuff.
Yeah, to an extent. Like you know they've encroached on property before. Like even when you guys went to Elysian, they were like, oh, hints of rebel sympathizers here, like maybe feeding money to the rebels within our borders. Boom, now Dorelium just was like, or Alanor was like, well, we could try and fight them on this, or they might just invade our whole fucking country. So let them have a little bit of a foothold in one of our towns for a little while to, you know, keep their dicks hard. And otherwise, they might just come for the all of it. So there's, yeah, especially the bordering countries, there's that bit of understanding, like, and that was sort of where Sinai happened. And they were like, hey, we got this message that we could come onto your property. And they were like, what? No way, son. And then just crushed them.
Matt brought up an interesting point. Like, he's dressed as a Darren soldier.
Aye.
Did the king have any suspicion on that?
Not anything that you guys saw in any of the insight checks you were making.
Okay. Just, yeah, thinking maybe we need to dress otherwise if we're gonna be.
To an extent, you get the vibe from that conversation that it was, he was sort of like you could have been from any detachment anywhere. Like maybe you're back on shore leave for whatever reason,
I
or
guess the military is really big.
it's huge, right? You could have been from anywhere on any assignment. Like maybe at some point Arya's parents are paying a stipend to the military to have a guard on her or whatever.
Right.
He was sort of in a, to the best of your guys' insighting, he didn't really pay Falconer too much attention.
Okay.
I didn't get that vibe either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
So a military man.
It's good. I just don't want to draw unwanted attention
Yeah.
within the king's circle, and then be like, "Oh, this guy is masquerading as our own." Cut his head off,
yeah.
Yeah.
kind of deal. Or if he says he's following Arya's exploits, he would obviously know rumors of the rest of us. Then potentially.
To a certain extent. It's not like he wakes up every morning like, oh, I wonder if Arya made the front page.
Well,
Yeah. Okay. I think we need to figure out that cipher. Because we got one of the words was prince that we got out of it yesterday, and
The other one was known.
then
Seems to be
Severin said they got circle prints from Chibli, and Papa on one of the rebel notes. So maybe there's more in the cipher you picked up
Mhm.
from that bouncer.
Yep. Yeah, because there was schedule, prints,
And Sapphire.
marked with a symbol formerly known as prints.
I was zoned out too, like trying to write down, this inn was on the west side of the, you got me.
You devil. Should
That's
we
terrible.
maybe go to my parents' house, or
Yeah.
feel like that's safer than
So you guys had this conversation last
an
session.
inn or something?
You can't
Oh, yeah.
all sleep
Yeah.
in your parents' house.
no,
No,
but we
they-
can camp out, ish, start fire.
I guess that's not illegal.
Although my mom said that she was gonna look into getting
Yeah, she said she was
rooms for
gonna
us.
inquire with Flynn
In the
in the
castle?
castle, and you know Flynn is one of the king's top like butler slash
Yeah.
covert bodyguards.
Henchman.
Yeah, he like kind of runs the servants of the castle, the castle.
Pastel cast.
Palace
Uh,
castle.
Not
We
that.
should probably go back to the inn and try to find Bobby and them. We didn't
Oh
really
shit!
say
Yeah.
where
were
when
gonna
we'd
find
meet
a
back
ship.
up. Or if we dart down a dark alley, I have the sending stone, but Bobby should have the other one.
Yeah, what if he's not in a good spot to be answering?
Well, he doesn't have to answer.
I kind of imagine sending stones are sort of like the Bluetooth headsets of the world. Like
Yep.
you can be walking in a group and have your hand in your pocket and make it look like you're talking to your companions. Just make it
Yeah,
a
you don't
casual
actually
deception
talk
check.
into the stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
You're
look
just
like
talking
one
It's
of those.
out
not.
loud.
It's not a real Rocky talkie where you're like,
Yeah, as far as I know, you just
You
as long as you're
just
holding
think
it and
Do you even
utilizing
have
the
to talk
magic,
out loud?
you do have to talk out loud.
Oh, okay.
But as far as I know, yeah, you don't have to have them like, come in, wingspan, this is Talon 1.
Or just like one of those psychos that walks down the middle of a street on speakerphone. On
Oh
the
my
phone.
god, I
Yeah.
hate those people.
I mean,
Psycho.
if we are gonna talk to him, first thing we should do is say if you don't need to talk, then like, if you're like, I don't know, if you're, you know, if you can't talk, then
I
don't
think
talk.
that goes without saying.
Yeah.
I guess when you're receiving the sending and you're
It's
responding
in your
to
head.
it.
It's not like it's
Yeah,
like
you
coming
hear
out
you
of
hear
the
it in
s-
yeah,
of
you
the
hear it in
stone.
your head. Yeah. The somatics of all of it.
You said Bobby's from here, so it's not like he would be like, "Oh, what's happening?"
Oh, hey guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he would have discretion.
Because we told them to try and get a ship, right? So they're on the docks, presumably.
Well, they were during the day. It is
I
now
guess, yeah, it's
nighttime
night.
of the day. And you guys hoofing it back to Riverbeds, you're probably looking at about 4 hours of walking.
Oh shit.
Like, you're at the eastern gate.
And Belgar showed up at 5 p.m. is what I had written down from last time.
Yeah, and then all the conversing, and it is winter, so like it's maybe only like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Good taxi man.
There are taxis.
We also said that we were gonna have dinner at my parents' house.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I will just hop on a taxi and I'll send to Bobby and see where they're at. Tell them to either meet us or go sleep on a boat.
Cool. It is 2 gold per person per taxi. Taxis carry 2 to 4 people, but no larger. They're supposed to be quick.
5 if I'm in it.
It's less of a. It's more of a gold per regulation. It's like taxis in Vegas.
But you said 2 to 4 people, so
So you can have 4 people in a taxi.
and 5 if I jump in.
You can have 4 people in a taxi.
Okay.
They have rules and regulations.
Does it go twice as fast if there's only 2?
No. It's just
It's the
like
same
they have a
speed.
minimum. They don't taxi a single person.
Got it.
Sorry, they do 2 or higher, up
Is
to
it
a
a
total
horse
of
and
4.
carriage type deal?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
They don't have the Gallup app here like they do in Illinois.
No. They don't have the gallop. They don't have the trot.
Okay, so we need 2 taxis. Because there's 7 of us.
And it's all flat rate, 2 gold a person.
Alright.
So we knock off 2 gold, and instead of 4 hours, you can get back to Riverbeds in 2 hours. Or you're going
We're
to.
going to my parents' house.
So 1 hour, you're at your parents' house. They have to drop you a little way down the road. You have to walk up like the last 200, 300 feet to the gate, but
2.
as you get to the gate, there is a different guard there this time. Hey, papers, Arya, ma'am. What's your last name?
Renton?
Oh.
Renton? I don't know how you said to pronounce it.
You got a last name now?
Yeah.
Renton?
I don't know what it means. Shay said he'll reveal it in time.
Oh, that's
Were you-
mysterious.
Because it's druidic. And I don't know what it means in common.
Mm.
Although I speak druidic, so I should know what it means, but whatever.
It's Old Druidic.
How do we spell it?
Capital R, capital N. Capital T, lowercase o, capital N. Renton.
It's not a lot of
Yeah,
vowels.
I don't know why they're capitals, but that's what the internet said, so.
I found a Druidic translator. It was harder to find. Every other language, they're like, Draconic? You want to learn Orcish? Primordial? And I was like, Druidic. And they're like, fuck you talking about, bro?
Oh, you mean Mandarin? Yeah.
Renton. Arya Renton. Miss Renton. I was told to expect you. Still need to see your papers, nonetheless. Right, as he goes through all of your papers. Right, all's in order, and he pulls out the little bugle. The gates open up. You guys make your way back inside. It's a lot quieter. There was dozens of other individuals running around earlier in the day. Now there's just like the comforting voice of a couple of stable hands, the nickering of horses, some little whines from some puppies in their kennels as they come up, but they're more so just like, oh, I want to go running. I don't want to go to bed yet. And yeah, you make your way back into your parents' house just as you're, well, I don't know if you knock or walk in.
I just walk in.
Kick
Okay,
in
as
the
you walk
door.
in, you almost knock your dad off his feet
Oh, shit.
as he's shouldering this little backpack. curious fabric. Not quite a burlap, but a little softer. And oh my dear, oh I'm so sorry.
Dad.
No, it's okay. It's good to see you. And he gives you. Hey, hello. No, I waited as long as I could, but I got to get off to that meeting.
Right.
That I told you about. But your mother's still got some warm plates. You folk, hello. You'll have to go around to the big room, unless you want to crawl on your hands and knees through this one. Even then, it's a bit narrow.
I can get in.
You know, no, you're no. Don't break my door. Although. No, don't break my door. Around to the big room. Sorry, dear. And he's like still like wiping crumbs out of his mustache as he's about to bounce. He throws a cloak on.
Can I like make a perception check on his like backpack thing?
Sure.
Have I seen it before? Do I know that he uses it for specific things?
That'd be more of a history check,
Okay.
or you
Just
could do
some sort
like
of-
an investigation if you're curious. Sort of.
Insight check.
You can make an insight check.
Ooh, not 20.
Nat
For
20.
26.
For a 26.
Goddamn.
You said history.
If you wanted to know if it's something he's used in the past.
19.
19. You've never seen him with this satchel before.
Okay.
Insight. I'm gonna get off. I'm being back.
Does it seem like this meeting he's going to is on the up and up, or maybe he's
Secret meetings.
secretly meeting with the rebels?
Whispers.
Let me get my words in a row here.
Oh. Whispers.
You're talking so loud. We didn't hear anything though.
Okay.
Hey, gotta be off. Enjoy the dinner.
Thank you. We'll see you later.
And he says goodbye in Gnomish. And yeah, he hustles off and he jumps on the back of, he pulls a already saddled dog out of one of the kennels that seems like rearing to go, and he hops on and takes off.
How tall are gnome men? Just for context.
How tall are you? 2
Like
foot 5?
3 feet.
Yeah. In and around 3
He's
feet.
probably like
3'5".
yeah.
Just trying to picture a man on a dog, that's all.
Would I know, like, thinking of, like, what species are being classified as slaves, would I know any, like, small slave races, like goblins or kobolds or something like that?
Goblins and kobolds are not typically enslaved because of their short lifespans. They're typically just considered target practice. Even orcs are sometimes a toss-up.
Yeah, we'll go in and
We're gonna take the scenic route.
Between 3 and 4 feet tall.
grab a plate.
Yeah, he's probably like 3 foot 5 inches. He's not like big for a gnome, but he's an adult man. Hey,
Dope.
welcome, come on in. Sorry, some of these portions might be a bit small for the bigger of you lot. I'll try and give you as many of the extra potatoes as I can, dear. Don't you worry. Come and you sit. Just have a sit down. You poor thing. And so you guys eat a really hearty gnomish meal. A lot of vegetables, some small little meatlet chunks kind of mixed in, almost like a chicken Caesar salad with potatoes on the side, lots of carrots. Yeah, and then like some little berry cupcake things for dessert. Not berry tarts, sorry, for dessert. And just from a cursory glance, it looks like since you guys left, Tatiani has just been like, alright, they're coming for dinner. And I'm gonna go, oh, Mrs. Doubtfire. And she just went crazy. And it was just like, I'm baking, I'm cooking this, get me some fresh carrots. No, Namir, fresh this time. The last one's had mealworms in them. Can you guys eat a nice hearty meal?
Well, that was bloody delicious. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're too kind. Tubers. Well, thank you, thank you. I aim to please, especially the friends of my little girl.
Mom, do you know where Dad was going off to? To who was he meeting?
Oh, I'm not too sure. A future client, I think, prospective. Someone supposedly with some deep pockets.
Inside check.
Like, I don't really want to incite my mom.
Oh, not so good this time. Oh no, that's a 19.
For a total of?
25.
Whisper.
Insert
whispers.
Whisper.
Whispers.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Well, I've got an extra batch of tarts if you're ready. Just coming fresh out of the stove, and they're still like steaming.
Wow, those look great.
Well, I just popped them in right before you got here, so it was perfect timing. We get that, eat the meal, the ones that were already cooked, and now you get these ones. Look, you. Oh, come on.
Yep.
They melt in your mouth. Oh, they're great.
Like a tear.
Oh, and I also forgot. Sorry, here. I asked Norm here to pick me up, and she pulls out this little flask, or like a little tiny cask of de-icing clear water for you.
Oh,
I know how difficult it can be. Well, I don't really. I've never been a slave, but I think I understand a bit.
I'm gonna take out. I don't have a flask on me.
It's alright, dear. That's just for you. You don't have to share it with anybody if you don't want it.
Right.
It's just a cork.
I don't
Just
know
pop,
where to
just pop the cork out,
put
and
it.
then you can put the. Well, you can just give it to one of your friends. Honestly, a lass of your size, I figured you'd finish the whole thing.
Alright, I'll leave it on the table for now. I'll give it to. I'll put it in the bag after.
Just thought you could use a wee nip, especially in the cold weather.
Falconer, was it you that had the cipher, or who had the cipher?
No,
Roston,
Roston was working
yeah,
on it,
Roston.
and then I don't know where it went after that.
Somebody else picked it up. I thought Magnus picked it back up.
I don't remember who picked it.
I just listened to
I
it.
mean, we
but-
sort of were just like group looking at it. We the group has it.
Anyone
We
actually
are able
said that
to.
there were only 2.
Okay, well,
On it.
regardless, let's see it.
Tatiani, did you hear about the ruckus over at the wall this afternoon?
Oh, please, that's nothing to be worried about. Those rebels always flaunting some trick or trade. Never had an incursion here before. Not worried about it now.
I mean, have they ever done something this big before?
Oh, what are you talking about, big? One man coming up shouting nonsense at the gate.
I mean, anything this.
I
don't
mean,
know,
there was an
formal?
assassination attempt
I don't
on
know.
the king. That's never happened before.
It's formal? Not really formal.
Not you know, like this organized before. This like
I don't know.
he made a what like announcement to the entire city. Has anything?
Oh,
does
just-
this happen often?
Just big talk, you know, like when you're you're about to get in a fight in a bar. You know, just you talk big and then get the shit slapped out of you. Pardon my language, dear.
I don't know what that's like actually.
Good for you. I've been in one or two in my day. I'm sorry to say it.
I figured.
I'm not much of a scrapper. It was the booze talking. Or what did you ask?
What did I ask?
Something about the cipher.
No.
And I totally forget.
Oh, you just were talking about, had said that there was an assassination attempt on the king, and that's never happened
Oh
before.
yeah, no, that's less of an incursion and more of that good old espionage. Even that, 1,000,000 to 1 odds that they would have taken out the king.
I mean, just hypothetically, if you were to wake up one morning and everything's on fire, the whole city's being rioted. Like, is there a way you could get out? Is there like a safe? I don't want anything to happen. Just like I'm sure it's talk, but I don't.
I know him, he knows ways.
All right.
Enough said there.
I'm gonna take off in a couple of minutes, just letting you guys know if there's anything you wanna.
Is there anything you wanna?
No, Just I never know what you got going on. What's about to jump around the corner?
I don't know. It depends on you guys. Somebody's looking at the cipher. You got good intelligence. Want to help with the cipher again?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I wanna see if I input like circle before the prince part of our cipher, if that helps at all. If it like brings out some more.
We'll give, if Rostin wants to helm the was it investigation or intelligence? I think it was investigation.
I mean, investigation is intelligent.
Yeah, but I think initially the intelligence was to see what language it was in, or whether it was in a cipher or not, which you guys did discover. So I think investigation, given assistance, and slap a guidance on there for good measure.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, so Rostin can roll twice with Magnus's help.
Well, I mean,
With the
technically 2 guidances. You can get guidance on both.
I don't think you can double up your guidance.
Oh,
I mean, it's still just be whatever the higher roll is.
true.
I rolled 2 7s.
Plus a guidance.
So
If you roll a third 7,
13 plus 4, 17.
17.
Nice.
Yeah, with Magnus's little stroke of genius there, you definitely uncover some more words. You definitely, with saying that, you dropped the DC by 5.
Shit. I dropped those 2 by 5.
Okay. Sapphire returning.
Returning.
And then there's a few words that you don't quite get, but then it says 4 circle prints may delay. Drop on schedule. And there's only a handful of words left that you guys haven't managed to suss out.
I'd like to solve. That's a good idea, though.
Can I buy a vowel?
You can buy a vowel. 1 million gold.
I like to solve the puzzle. Bitches be crazy.
Schedule bitches be crazy. Can I try?
Try what?
To see what the other words are?
Oh, make an investigation? Sure.
you're going to ask to buy a vowel. It's like, no, she's laying it in.
Can I? Million gold?
Investigation. 16.
16. Having a hard time finding out
Will
more
the
words
guidance.
there.
Since I got it out,
It
it lasts
was-
for a minute.
Until you
But
use
he
it.
used it.
Oh, right.
It drops.
You
Yeah,
have to-
I already rolled.
You have to cast it before she rolls.
Can I,
Can I?
I
Yeah,
mean, we're
that
all
would be
sitting around the
hilarious.
table. Pass it around.
sure, I will.
I mean, I'll try.
At this point, it's a group activity.
Yeah.
Words I've
Whoever
heard
wants to help
today,
whoever
I'll
else
try
is. It's a tiny little piece of paper, too, so like you guys do have to do it like a pair at a time. There's not enough room for everybody to.
I've got a corner piece.
What'd you get?
Oh no, what was it? It was either a 6 or a 9, but they're right beside each other, and I can't remember. I think it was a 6.
I think it was a 9. I thought I.
See, I can't remember now.
Shoot.
That's why you don't pick it up.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Mm.
The lighting was strong enough. No, you're good. It's very nice. I just
More
I should have paid
I
more
got a
attention.
12. Not that that would do anything.
I got an 11. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are still just kind of fussing around the same words. Like,
Okay,
okay,
you
but
wanna
this
try?
one, I know this one was in Orcish.
Yep.
Like, what if it maybe translates with one of these other ones? And you're like, well, what about Elvish? And then the two of you end up just kind of crowding the space for a couple of minutes.
This is intelligence check.
It's an
Yep.
investigation for shits and giggles.
Investigation. Somebody gonna guide me?
Yep.
Ooh, 5.
Oh, we're in hell now.
Awful.
Last call.
2 4s. So not great.
Alright. After you guys all passed around, I said, give me this back. And I
As
Try
we
again.
all fucking are terrible.
Oh, did
22 2.
Nice.
22 is exactly the DC to finish,
Shit.
it. It started at an 18.
I thought you said it dropped by 5.
When he brought up the circle thing. For that one check.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was the check? What
I
did
thought
you say?
because we got more words, the DC dropped by
No,
5.
the more words you got, the higher the DC went.
I understand.
Yeah. So it started at an 18, went to a 20, and then to a 22. The full
You guys
note.
can have some of this too.
The full note on this tiny little, it's almost the size, like a little bit bigger than a gold, almost a platinum size. Spiraling language reading. Sapphire returning. The Emerald Quest for Circle Prince.
Emerald Quest, not crest.
Quest for Circle Prince may delay. Maintain drop on schedule unless instructed otherwise.
Sorry, what was that last bit? Schedule.
Maintain drop on schedule unless instructed otherwise.
Why did I think this would get any easier?
Now, anything in this little note ring any bells, like Sapphire or Emerald Quest or Circle Prince, anything like that?
Well, you did just hear about people who are making dead drops for the rebellion
Yeah,
while talking to Detective Siverin.
we need to go see
So maintain drop on schedule unless instructed otherwise.
And the guy that gave the doorman the note was a guard
Correct.
that I know.
Yeah.
Right. I forgot about that part.
Do you know his name?
Yeah, what was his name?
Or you just
You
like
recognized his face, but you didn't remember. You didn't roll high enough to remember his name.
All right.
and you gave it to the door guy?
Do the guards like have any? I don't know what you call them, like badge numbers or rankings. Like, you know, if you ran into a cop in New York, you'd be like, "Oh, this guy's from the 55th precinct."
I'll give you a quick history check to see if you remember what rank of badge this guard is wearing. If any.
Guidance.
Guidance. 14.
14. He wasn't a private. Hold on, where are my military rankings here? Because there's definitely a switch between color of badges after a certain point.
Maybe we should go back to the riverbeds and see if that bouncer is working, just to see if he gets any more notes.
Whereabouts is the place we're supposed to go to in the morning?
It's like
It's 2 hours away by taxi.
no, the police headquarters is in the
Eastern portion of the city.
it's outside of the castle bit.
No, it's in the inner walls.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
sort of southeastern.
And Riverbeds is way back.
out of
Was
2
a
hours
little
away to
bit,
the west.
A little bit southwestern. Like at west, but a little bit south. But
Okay,
right,
so
but right
If
on
we
the
went
river.
back to Riverbeds, we'd have to go like,
across the
It'd be a
entire city.
couple hours again.
and then in the morning we'd have to come back and then go further east again.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, maybe.
Maybe do that tomorrow night.
Staying at the castle. For
Yep.
tonight.
Yep. And then go to headquarters in the morning, I'd say.
Well, then we're gonna drop Bobby a message, unless we did that already.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what
we
Louis
could
Falconer was
probably
gonna do.
that in
Yeah.
here. Like we're
True.
my mom knows that I have magical abilities.
The badge was of a coloration of either a sergeant, lieutenant, or a captain. Privates, squad leaders, platoon leaders all have silver badges, or copper badges. Sergeants, lieutenants, and captains have silver badges. And commanders, colonels.
Is my mic still on?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you pooping?
No, he was
no, I did that
Saving the
before.
silver bells.